Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan with the Laundromat Resource Podcast. This is show 98, and I'm pumped you're here today because today we have on a repeat guest, Brittany Centers from Center Social, who's coming to tell us how to get more business using social media. And man, this is just such a great way to connect with your community, to gain new customers, and to communicate with existing customers. And she's got a lot of really great tips in today's episode. So if you own a laundromat already, we can all up our social media game. If you are looking to buy your first laundromat, this is also a great episode for you because once you have your laundromat business, you are going to want to engage on social media. It's 2022. You got to be a part of what's going on in the online world. And Brittany's got some great tips for you on how to do it. Now, I want to jump into it with her in a second, but real quick, huge welcome to all the new and pro members over at laundromatresource.com. The forums have been booming over there. So if you haven't gone to laundromatresource.com/forums, you got to get over there, go ask a question, go answer a question, because there's a lot of really great conversations happening over there. They've been super busy lately, and I love seeing that. I love seeing the community help each other succeed in this business, find that financial freedom, achieve your goals. When we're helping each other, we're all doing better. And so that's laundromatresource.com/forums. That link and all the links in today's episode, which there's quite a few actually, will be at laundromatresource.com/show 98. If you're on YouTube, they'll all be down below in the description. Also make sure you subscribe if you're over there on YouTube, because we have got great information coming out all the time. Okay. Real quick, I want to do our fast lane. Is it fast lane? Yeah. Fast lane is fast track. Oh man, I can't remember the name of the segment. Anyways, I think it's fast track. We want to put you on the fast track to success. We want to show you how Laundromat Resource can help you get on that fast track. Today's fast track is super easy, super relevant to the episode. Center Social, which Brittany Centers started, is a partner with Laundromat Resource, and they have offered a pro perk that exceeds the value of the investment of the pro membership. So if you're thinking about getting Brittany or Center Social to help you manage your social media, it's a no-brainer to go over to laundromatresource.com/pro and join that community, because you're going to save more money once you jump on board with Center Social than you will invest in that pro community. Plus, you get access to all the other partner discounts and all the other great information, resources, tools, all that stuff that you get with Laundromat Resource Pro. So that's at laundromatresource.com/pro. And that is your fast track. I'll have to go back to previous episodes and look that up. But that's your tip for today. And it's a super easy one. Let's jump into it with Brittany Centers and get social with her. And it starts off a little bit like an animal podcast, but stick with it because we're going to get into the social media and laundromat business side of things before we have a little fun with animals. All right. Sounds great. And we'll see you on the other side as I close this thing out. Hey, Brittany, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you, Jordan?
Going good. It has been a social media eternity since we have talked because, everything's changing so fast with social media. We're giggling because it's like the third time we've done this because of technical difficulties. But haven't talked to you in a little while. Social media is changing like crazy. We both thought it would be awesome to do a little update on what's going on with social media and how we can use it to benefit our businesses. But first, what's been going on with you? What's new?
Well, yesterday we rescued a dog. Someone was inconsiderate enough to drop off 5 puppies, and they were literally in the middle of the road. So we took in all 5, and thankfully within hours we found homes for 4 of them, which meant that, means that we kept one. So now we have a new puppy.
Wow. What kind of dog is it?
It's a Great Pyrenees mixed with something.
I mean, it sounds big. Is it big?
It's
Well,
very,
it's a puppy, right? I mean,
yes.
is it how big of a puppy is it?
Um, she's pretty small.
Okay.
It's a girl. Her name's Honey. But we actually have a Great Pyrenees adult dog, and he's about 110 pounds.
Well, you already have one, but yours had nothing to do with this one. Is that?
No. It was actually like 30 minutes away from here where they were left.
Okay. Okay. And nobody in the house calls anyone else Honey, because that could get confusing.
No.
Okay. So a new puppy in the family, a new Honey. How cute. That's awesome. Well, I mean, listen, I got to ask you, because it looks like there's a jungle behind you or something like that. What is going on in the background there?
So those are chameleons. We actually have a chameleon breeding business, and those are chameleons in the background. They all have, real live plants with plant lights and all that fun stuff. Most of them are from California, actually.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. We do what we can, spreading the chameleon love around. I don't see any chameleons there at all, but I guess maybe that's the point of the chameleons.
Yes, that's exactly the point.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I mean, we've chatted before. I had no idea the extent of what was going on reptile wise over there, but I know you have other reptiles too, right?
Yeah, we do. We have tortoises, bearded dragons, 2 little snakes, which are not my favorite. My husband was raised with snakes, so those are kind of his thing.
Nice. Well, I have one giant 100+ pound tortoise and a bunch of like regular lizards in the backyard that we see all over the place. So that's the extent of my, reptile-ness over here. That's all I could get my wife to let me have, really. And I had to get that tortoise before we got married. So,
so how long have you had it?
I've had it like 16, 17 years now.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. I have 3 sons, and the oldest one is really obsessed with reptiles. So that's where it also actually, my best friend for his 3rd birthday, which he's getting ready to be 6, bought him a bearded dragon. And then it was like, we went down the rabbit hole after that.
No, you went way down the rabbit hole. I'm looking behind you right now. You're deep into that rabbit hole there. You might not come out. I don't know. All right. Well, let's talk social media. Cause I mean, that's why we're here. I don't know. I'd kind of be down to just from now on, Laundromat Resource Podcast is about puppies and reptiles. That'd be fine with me too. But I guess, we should probably talk social media and business here. Because, it's 2022, and from now and moving forward, like, it's just imperative that we, have at least some sort of basic understanding of what's going on with social media and how we can use it to help us grow our businesses. That's what it's all about. Right. And so let's stop. I mean, can we start with maybe the scariest one, or the one that I think is least understood by all of us old fogies here? TikTok. What can you talk to us just a little bit? What is TikTok, and how can we use it as businesses?
All right. So TikTok is a video platform that, as we all know, it was the perfect timing for a social media platform to be released. And right when, COVID happened. And so it's a video platform where, you film, depending on what you're doing, seconds to minute video. And it's very it is very beneficial for small businesses, but also I want to address the fact that it's very controversial right now. We thought recently that it was going to get banned again. A couple of years ago, there was rumor that it was going to get banned, but they had until July 8th to make the decision of whether TikTok was going to get banned, and nobody's ever said anything. So at that point, we're going on that it's going to stick around. And a lot of people don't really like TikTok, but, I have to address how it's going to help businesses. And, at this point we're just assuming that it's here to stay. So customers on social media, I mean, everyone knows that your customers are on social media every day, many hours a day. But for Facebook, the average customer is on 35 minutes a day. Instagram is 28 minutes a day, and TikTok is 80 minutes a day. So that's how big of a difference that it is. And one of the greatest things about TikTok is that it's the fastest growing platform for all ages. And when I say that, is that there are 50 plus year olds already on TikTok and were from the very beginning. And let's rewind it back to, when Facebook first started. And
wait. Let's rewind it back a little further when MySpace, the real OG social media started. If we're going to start somewhere. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So MySpace was the real OG of social media. I was actually in middle school when MySpace came out.
Okay. Well, some of us are old fogies over here.
Yeah. And I remember thinking it was the coolest thing ever. And now look, back compared to 2022, how, everything has changed.
Did you have a MySpace, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to look it up. If I can find it, I'm going to link to it in the show notes.
You should totally do it. It'd be Brittany McKnight.
McKnight. Okay. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. But so, 65% of users on TikTok are 20 to 49 years old, and then 11% are 50 plus. So it's been the fastest growing platform ever for older people. And whenever I say that, like back in the day, when Facebook first started, then adults would get on, or kids would join Facebook, and then their parents would get on it. And then kids were like, okay, I don't want my parents seeing everything I'm doing. So then they would go to Instagram or Snapchat or, pick some platform they went to it to try to get away from their parents. But TikTok is the only one that's ever switched the game for that. And so it started off with much older people being on TikTok. I think probably the pandemic had something to do with that. And unfortunately, even though as upsetting as TikTok is for some people, that the organic reach for TikTok is much higher than any other social media platform right now. You get 4.5 times more organic engagement. And when I say organic engagement, that means that you're not running any types of ads or spending any money. So you're going to get 4.5 times engagement on TikTok right now compared to any other network. And small businesses that are selling actual items and stuff are getting 10 times more sales right now from TikTok, which, in a laundromat world, you're not necessarily selling stuff online. Pickup and delivery would count as like selling, but, like a self-service laundromat's not necessarily selling online.
Yeah. And I mean, this is kind of a pattern we've seen with some of these social media sites like Facebook, like Instagram, where the organic reach is much higher in the beginning because these social media, companies depend on engagement. They depend on interaction. It's cheaper to advertise on them. Content creators get paid less because they're just trying to get the content out and make it addictive, which, let's face it, TikTok is like the cocaine of social media, right? Like I had to take it off my phone because I had it on there for like a day. And then I was like, what happened to that day? It was like gone, right? Like it's hard to get off of it because they roll right into each other. Yeah. And yeah, but anyways, and so we've seen that. We saw that with Facebook. We saw that with Instagram, where you get a lot of organic reach, and then eventually that starts to fade away as it commercializes more. Well, TikTok hasn't commercialized more yet as much as the other social media. So you're getting a lot more organic reach, able to reach people that way, which is really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing that happened originally with Facebook, Instagram. Originally with Facebook, there wasn't even an area for people to advertise or businesses to advertise on Facebook. And it was just about getting those followers. So, I mean, 2 years, 3 years, it's going to be the same thing with TikTok. And then there'll be another platform that's new that comes along and that so they want to gain all those followers, just organic followers. And then at that point, once they reach a certain point, that's when they start asking for money, which sounds like crazy, but at the same time, that's how you're going to reach your potential customers. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about TikTok first is that I want to lead into Reels, which we'll talk about in a second, which is very similar to TikTok, and how the benefit of Reels on Instagram and Facebook is going to help your business.
Yeah. Okay. But before we get into Reels, I want to here's the thing with TikTok, right? And like you've kind of mentioned, it's controversial. Well, do you want to talk about why TikTok's a little bit controversial? Or some people don't like it?
Because it is, yeah. Well, it's a Chinese-owned company. And if anyone knows anything about a Chinese company, is that pretty much the government owns them. And that if the Chinese government wants data or information, if it is a Chinese-owned company, they don't have an option but to give that information. And that is one of the biggest things, is that, if you are a business on Facebook, or you're just a person on Facebook or on TikTok, then the Chinese government does and can have access to anything that you're posting or any of your information.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing though. Okay. We're, laundromat owners over here. I think very few probably laundromat owners. I know some are on TikTok and are utilizing and are getting business from it. But very few, I would say, relatively speaking, are utilizing TikTok. And a big part of that reason is because, we don't really understand how it's going to translate to the bottom line, right? The bottom line is the bottom line. So can you help me? Maybe I'm just the only one here, but can you help me and anybody else who needs to know, understand, how do we translate these videos? When I think of TikTok videos, I think of like crazy dancing and all like the pranks, all that stuff that sucked me in for an entire day. How does that translate into the bottom line for us, into sales?
Okay.
Customers.
So I'm going to break it down to 3 parts for laundromat owners. I'm going to do self-service, wash, dry, fold, and pickup and delivery. And I'm going to use the first example that I'm going to use is college kids. And, I'm from Kentucky, so I'm going to use a school from Kentucky. The best one in my opinion, which is, the University of Louisville, not UK. Can't say that too loudly.
And for everybody, let me just translate. It's the University of Louisville.
No, Louisville.
Or Louisville.
No, Louisville.
Okay, I don't even know what you're saying right now.
Louisville.
You have something stuck in your... All right, anyways, go ahead. Yeah, so give us an example from, the third most popular college in Kentucky. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So let's say that you're a laundromat owner in Louisville, Kentucky, and that you are wanting to start a program for, college age kids. Then what's one way that you're going to reach those kids is that it's going to be TikTok, because all of that demographic is on TikTok. And so there's 3 different ways that you could, reach them depending on what you're offering. But say that you wanted to start a program about semester laundry. So I have some clients that are actually doing this, where they charge one flat price, and then they pick up your entire laundry for the entire semester. One way to utilize TikTok for that avenue, it's like there's other companies out there doing like Dorm Mom and Tide. It's called Tide something. Sorry, I can't remember. But they're targeting colleges specifically. And you could use TikTok to reach out by showing an overview of the campus, the clothes being picked up, washed, folded, delivered, and then like saving college kid time. Because when you are in college, you have a little or maybe lots of free time, but you choose what you're spending it on. And most of them don't want to spend it on laundry. And you can use TikTok to target them and to reach them, because the thing about TikTok algorithm is that it shows things that you're interested in within the past 6 months only. So, if you have a college kid at U of L, then they're probably going to be interested in the University of Louisville. And so it's going to automatically target them without you spending a bunch of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great. And I mean, I think it's a great example of how TikTok can drive business and an interesting also business model with the, charging for a semester's worth of laundry, which, some of you guys who are near and women, guys and women who are near colleges, something to consider, something to think about, something to work the math through on to see if you can make that work. Cause that could be a really good customer base.
I mean, I really think it's going to grow because, even when I was in college, like 10 years ago, we lived in apartment complexes called College Living Redefined, where, we had our own bedrooms and that kind of stuff, but there wasn't enough like washing machines and, dryers in order to maintain all of the laundry for all of the buildings. So I think that it's definitely something that is going to continue to grow for the laundromat world. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I think it's an interesting model. Okay. Well, let's bring it home. I mean, so, if you're in a college town, that can be a great way to do it. But what if you're just like a neighborhood kind of, on the corner laundromat? I mean, is TikTok still a good avenue for that laundromat? If so, like, how can we utilize that as just, neighborhood laundromats?
Yes. So that's one of the reasons why I said previously that I was going to break it down into 3 different categories. So like self-service, and we've already talked about the ages on, TikTok. So your age demographic is there pretty much. And so self-service, you would film, walk through your laundromat, show how clean your laundromat is, customers being happy, obviously get, cooperation with them, and the services that you offer, that it's safe, there's cameras, lights, depending on what you're wanting to promote at that time. And then you add some sound and make it exciting and then post it on social media or on TikTok. And that's actually going to reach your potential clients in your area. Wash, dry, fold. A TikTok example would be showing that the laundry being washed, folded, push saving time. Like, we will do all of this for you. All you have to do is drop it off and pick it up. And once again, you add fun sounds and make it a little bit more exciting. And that's one thing that everyone needs to understand with TikTok and Reels and pretty much all social media, is that it's not a formal, like you're not making a TV commercial anymore. No one really wants to see that. That's, who really watches commercials very much anymore. It's a real life. Like, people want to see the stuff that's really going on in real life that you're showing, and that's what they want to see. So they just want to see what you're really doing. And so, like, showing the washer I fold, exactly what happens, and that would target people in your area. And then pickup and delivery, it's kind of the same thing. You would show like picking up someone's laundry from their front porch, washing it, folding it, and at the same time that this is going on, this would, it'd be exciting sounds, music, even some of your employees dancing in the background while they're doing it would make it a little better, and then dropping it off. And, obviously this is just one example. With TikTok or Reels, you have to have, multiple videos all the time, but this is just like one example that you can come up with.
Yeah. I think just as you were saying that, I was thinking, I'm going to start now, whenever I go visit a laundromat, I'm going to go do a dance in people's laundromats and TikTok it for the Laundromat Resource TikTok account.
I would suggest that you actually do that. Really.
I know. Yeah. And I mean, genuinely, like, I don't have a TikTok. Well, one question I have, hold on. Let me hold on. So, I mean, I love those ideas. I think that's great. I think there's 2 angles to hit, right? When you are thinking about TikTok videos. So the what you do is the one side of things. You want to show people like, who you are, what you do, what they're going to get, what your laundromat looks like. It's clean. It's not a zombie mat. We come and pick up your laundry off the front porch, that kind of thing, right? There's the who you are and what you do as a business. And then there's the, what you get from using our services, right? So like if it's pickup and delivery, you can do TikTok videos of people doing whatever else, is way more exciting than laundry, which is nothing, obviously. But, for some people, whatever else is way more exciting while they're not doing their laundry, or, you know what I mean? Like, so hit both of those angles as you're creating any social media content, really letting people know who you are, what you do, and then let people know how your services or your self-serve laundry can improve their lives. And you can do it in a lot of fun, creative ways. And just, in case anybody doesn't know, TikTok has a bunch of like a bunch of built-in, songs and sounds and stuff like that you can just overlay onto videos. Makes it very easy. You're not doing a whole lot of video editing per se. Like you're not producing a commercial. You might be splicing a couple things together, but the audio is all there, and it makes it simple, which I think is part of the reason that it went viral. Also, it's a relatively simple video format to do because they're short, they're simple, they provide the audio most of the time, and good to go.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. And that's why the next thing that I want to talk about is Reels, because, does anyone for 1 second think that Facebook or Instagram is going to let TikTok actually overtake them? No. I mean, no. It may happen, but they're going to go down trying. And that's exactly what a reel is. And so this is important for people that don't want to be on TikTok, or, well, actually it's just important for everybody, but this is a plus side for people who don't want to patronize TikTok. So Reels, it's what it's called. It should be called the TikTok of Facebook and Instagram if you want to really call it what it is. But it's 3-second to 30-second videos that you can add the filters, the special effects, the music. They provide all of the music for you. And so one of the most important things that you can be doing as a small business right now is utilizing Reels. And the reason is that, Facebook, Instagram, they want to take TikTok down in the whole scheme of the world. And what's one way they do that? So they created the whole Reels, which is just, like I mentioned, the TikTok, but they are pushing their algorithm. So they have changed their entire algorithm to push the Reels so that you're going to get more organic reach. You're going to reach more people. You're going to reach more potential customers. And I'm going to break it down a little bit more further for you. So if you're posting on your business page for your laundromat, about 0.7% of people are going to see that right now because of all the algorithm changes. But if you're using Reels, then that increases substantially. So they're pushing for businesses to use Reels on social media. So, and you're going to reach new people, not just your current customers, not people that are walking in your door, but people that have never seen or heard about your business that can walk into your door. And so 3 ways that Reels actually really work for your business is that they grow your audience organically. So you don't have to, always run ads, truthfully, on social media now, but it increases your organic reach without spending all that ad spend. And then it builds the like, know, and trust factor with your customers. So they're seeing, like, as we mentioned with TikToks, is that it's not a commercial. They're getting to see the real you. And I'm actually going to have Jordan link an example of the Wilford brothers reel for Luke and Lee, but we did it for the wash house of when they were modeling one of their laundromats, one of the reels that we posted for them. And it's literally and if you guys know Luke or Lee Williford, you're going to laugh when you see it because it's of Luke using a sledgehammer and Lee kicking a wall. But that's just for me to reiterate that it doesn't have to be like a commercial. Like it's just real life. Like they were demoing a laundromat that they had just purchased. And so that helped. And a lot of people was like, well, how does that have to do anything with my laundromat? But it shows your customers that you're improving the place. You're working hard to make sure that the environment that they walk into is nice and clean and, well kept. And it makes them trust you, like you, and feel like they know you, which is going to turn into a repeat customer. And then the last things, the way that reels really work for your business is to show off like your service. So obviously, if you're showing what great customer service you have, how great your laundromat is, then you're going a zombie mat or a competitor down the road that isn't nearly as nice as you. They're not gonna do that. And so you're going to target them organically and reach them, and then create, as the Wilford brothers would say, a lifelong customer.
Yeah, which is awesome. And reels are like you said. I mean, your engagement goes, or your exposure goes way up, when you're creating reels as opposed to posts. In fact, I've seen recently over the last week or two where a lot of people are taking their static posts and converting them to video files to turn their static posts into reels. So I'll see a quote, a post quote that there's no moving or anything, but they turn it into a video because they're kind of gaming the system. I'm sure they'll shut that down eventually, but they're kind of gaming the system to get more reach out there with those reels because they are being pushed a lot more. And if you look at your feeds, you're going to see 90 to 95% video, and then the rest will be still posts.
Yeah. Still post. I mean, I think they'll always be around, but the reason why that any type of movement or anything is because more people engage. And so, all right, let's say that Facebook allowed everyone to just post static posts nowadays in the world that we live in. Well, people would start opting off very quickly. They don't want to look at that. And so to compete to be the best social media platform out there, which is what they're all doing, they want to make sure that the content is great and what people want to see, which is one of the reasons why the more likes you get, the more follows, the more hearts, all of that you get, the more your post is seen, because it's considered good content and they want to be the best platform out there. So yes, that's why a lot of people are using motion graphics, motion text, all of that, because it is a competition to get the most views, and it works. Yeah, it definitely works. Okay. So question I have for you, this is a legit question that's going to apply to both Reels and to TikTok. And I don't know that you're going to have the answer to this, because I'm not sure there is an answer to this, but how would I have a TikTok account and post Reels for my business without getting sucked into TikTok and Reels? Because once you're in their world, it's hard to get out of their world. You know what I mean? The videos roll into each other, and it's just really hard to stop that, and I think I don't know. I've seen a lot of people who, once they pop, they can't stop. Yes. That is a very, very difficult answer because the trends change. So let's just push away algorithms for a second. Okay. Let's talk about trends. There's TikTok trends, and they change every week. Well, you have to be on top of that trend and to be utilizing it. So there's no real way, if you're doing it yourself, to not get sucked in, because, it's all about you're learning in order to promote your business, which it sounds like I'm telling everybody to go out there and watch TikTok and Reels. I like the way you're spending this, because you're turning our addictions into an education, really. And how long did we spend? We spent, almost 2 decades, or some of us more than 2 decades,
going to school, going to college, all that stuff, learning, when really all you need to be doing is watching TikTok and reels all day.
Yeah. Yes. It's really kind of funny. My husband, before it was like 1:30, which our podcast started at 2:00 or my time. And he starts laughing. I was like, what are you laughing at? Cause I'm like getting in the zone, like trying to, I'm going over my notes of what I want to say and everything. He was like, I'm just laughing because it popped up on my TikTok about reels and how important that they are. And it's a little scary in some ways because he spent like this morning listening to what I was going to go over today. And somehow it's now popping up on his TikTok and all of that stuff. So, I mean, I do think that there is some power behind that. I don't speak on that too much because it scares too many people.
Yeah. Listening. Turn off your Alexas. Alexa, turn yourself off.
Okay, so I have to tell this just to make everyone laugh, but he just turned 3 and his brother has an Alexa in his room who is about to turn 6, and he loves to listen to music. My husband's a music teacher, so they get it, like, honestly. And so he has this book where you push this animals and it tells you like this name of the animal and the sound. And so I walked upstairs this morning and he pushed the button for a toad and it said toad and like did like the ribbit sound. And he goes, Alexa, that's not a toad. It's a frog. But it's a kid's book, but he's heard his brother talk to Alexa so much.
That's really funny. And you know what? He would know because, well, I don't know. Does reptile expert make you automatically an amphibian expert?
Well, we do have 7 amphibians.
Okay. So you're in. Yeah, you're in. Yeah. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah. My kids would like try to swipe the TV a lot or, that kind of thing. I'm like, oh gosh, what a world. What a world. Okay. So, I mean, we got reels, we've got TikTok. I mean, I think both of those scare people a lot. Right. And I like the message that you're saying, hey, don't worry so much about it being some kind of polished thing. Go grab like a fun, trendy audio. It could be a song. It could be, there's a lot of like spoken quotes that people turn into like kind of meme type deals. Yes. Trends, I guess, is the video version of meme. But go find those things and think, how can this apply to my business? How can I make this funny or engaging and show something about my business or show something about what the customers get from utilizing my business, that kind of thing. And just go try it. Like that's kind of the idea behind it, is you don't have to kill yourself up front trying to figure it all out and making sure it's all perfect. Just go have some fun with it, try it out. And, like anything with business, the results come with consistency. So if you can be a little bit consistent about posting on TikTok and posting a reel a day or a couple a day or whatever, you will see traction. You will see results there.
Yes. Because the algorithm is purposely designed to reach new people within your area.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, it's one thing I will say, I don't know if you have anything to say on this. One thing I will say is it's difficult it's a organic reels and organic TikTok is for Laundromat specifically can be difficult to track the effectiveness of those in my experience. And maybe you have something to say on that. But it's hard to pinpoint. I made this video about, this quote video where I did a funny thing in it and that converted to 3 sales, right? Like it's hard to pinpoint that. But I've seen, both personally and through, the marketing and stuff that we do over here, that, when laundromats are consistently posting on that, that they're seeing increased businesses. I mean, have you seen that happening?
Yes, absolutely. And so one of the biggest yes. So I always ask my customers compare, last month's business to this month and like keep growing, looking, and you should continue to see it grow. But at the same time, one of the biggest misconceptions with social media is that everybody wants like that number. Like they want that number of like, okay, this is what's made me grow. And what they don't understand is that it's an overall brand awareness. Like that's what social media at the end of the day is. And one of the best analogies that I have, and I may have said this on the last podcast that I did, I don't remember or not, but I mean, I've been saying this since I started doing marketing in like 2014, 15, is that look at Disney. It doesn't matter if you have children, but you have nieces, nephew, grandkids, cousins, friends, children. But even if you don't have children, look at how many times a year you see something with the Disney logo on it. And that's because they're wanting to, the more times they can get their brand in front of your eyeballs, the more likely you are to make that purchasing decision, whether it's for your kids or nieces or nephews, but for somebody. And when you look at it like that, Disney is, one of the biggest brands in the world. And they're always advertising, they're always marketing, whether they know that you could be a potential customer or not. And it's the same way with social media and brand awareness, is that, you have the self-service people that are going out there looking for somewhere to do their clothes. Wash, dry, fold, and pick up and delivery. They're sometimes looking, like, oh, hey, I would like the service. But a lot of times they don't even know that it exists in their area.
Mm-hmm.
So you're increasing that brand awareness and pushing your brand, and that's going to get in front of their eyeballs, as I describe it, and then eventually turn into a customer that's like, oh, hey, I could really use that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I think that is, and that's part of that consistency piece, right? Like you don't build up brand awareness. You don't stay front of mind by posting sporadically and that kind of thing. So I think that's awesome. Awesome input. Well, I wanted to chat about Facebook. I mean, Facebook's still kind of the behemoth. I know they've kind of been losing, some market share to some of the newer social media platforms and stuff, but they're still kind of the behemoth of the business. Is there a specific way we should be using Facebook these days for our business?
Yes. So you need to still be posting. You have to be using ads, ad spend. And, I'm trying to not make this very complicated when I say this, but it is complicated. Is that there's now meta business. Uh-huh. And so in the world of social media that we live in right now, to run ads, you actually have to use meta business and you have to convert your page. Some pages haven't even officially converted yet. You'll get an alert when your page does. Like it'll pop up and say, there's a new way, blah, 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 click open now. And so that's when and it has to be on the computer. In order to actually see that. And that's how you know that it's converted. But yes, so use Meta Business Suite, the analytics, the numbers, everything that you see. There's ads that you can run on Meta Business, which, when I say Meta, like that's what Facebook is called now. But yes, they've changed everything. The way that you run ads, the way that you post, it's all changed. And so Facebook right now currently is about 4 different platforms combined.
Yeah.
I know it sounds awful.
It gets pretty overwhelming pretty fast. Right. And then, there's, I've seen kind of more and more laundromats using groups. I mean, are you seeing that? Is there opportunity in using groups?
Yes. So that's also one of the big algorithm pushes for Facebook is they want small businesses to post in groups. And when I say group, like let's pretend that I am a laundromat in LA. You could join the group like LA moms or LA dads. I have no idea if this really exists, but this is just an example. And then you could post like your specials or what you're doing. Like if you're running like a back to school special, you would post in those groups as your business. And that's getting a lot of organic reach. And then the algorithm is, so you would post as the business, and then that's going to help boost your business because the algorithm on social media is pushing for that. And so that's what they want you to do. They want you to do reels. They want you to do groups. It's also still stories, which we talked about stories in the last podcast, but stories are going to reach, they're pushing for stories still, but that's just reaching your current followers. Reels are going to reach new people, and so will groups.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it gets over. Is there a benefit in having, so for example, Laundromat in LA, is there a benefit in having my own group, or should I be joining groups as my business?
The answer to that would probably be both. You could have a group, like I have some clients that are like clothing companies that have their own group where, they post their new clothes and that kind of stuff. So you could have a group for, your area for laundry, but do I think that that's going to get the most bang for your buck? No, I don't. It would be joining groups in your area that would let you post. So sometimes groups won't even allow a business to join. So you have to find those ones that are willing to allow that. But yes, I think that joining a different group that already has that network of people, that's going to be where you get those people.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a lot. We've gone through kind of a lot of stuff, talking about a lot of different updates in social media. And like we said, and I was kind of joking in the beginning, but like social media is changing daily, right? There's all kinds of things shifting around. It's a little bit of a chess match between the different companies as TikTok blows up, then Facebook and Instagram respond, and YouTube even has reels types of things. And, so everybody's kind of responding to everybody. And, as business owners, we don't have to utilize those things, but a lot of times if we don't, we're leaving money on the table because, some of the people that we could normally be reaching, we're not reaching because we're not using them. Right. And so, it's just a big opportunity right now. And I can't remember if I said this in the beginning or not, but I'm going to say it again. If I did say it is, I did a podcast episode, the last one or two ago or something like that, where I was talking about, what we need to be planning for, what we need to be aware of as business owners, if a recession is coming or whenever a recession comes or a downturn in the economy or whatever. And one of the things I was talking about is, a lot of times one of the first things people cut is their marketing budget and their marketing in general. And, when there's a downturn, that's not the time to cut the marketing and stuff. And so what I love about having you back on to talk about this stuff is that these are ways that you can do both paid and free to gain exposure and to get new customers, new clients, new business for your laundry service or your self-serve laundry business. When times are good and when times are bad. And I would say, man, as there's a lot of uncertainty and all that stuff, now's the time to double down and dig into this stuff and not be afraid of not fully understanding everything, and don't be afraid of not knowing exactly, how to make a reel or how to make a TikTok, but get involved. But also with all that said, I know that there's going to be people listening to this, and I kind of feel this, and I'm sort of in the social media mix here, but I still kind of feel this is like, all this is really overwhelming. And for those of us who are trying to run a business and we've got families and, life going on, maybe investment, whatever, like that's a lot to think about. And adding, hey, I got to go make a TikTok account and figure out how to use it and all that stuff, that can feel super overwhelming. But that's where someone like you and Center Social comes in. So can you tell us just a little bit about Center Social and what you guys are doing with laundromats?
Yes. So, I mean, essentially all that we've talked about today is what we do. I have a full-time employee that just studies the changes so that we're prepared for them. Like we're ready to go. We were a little bit more hesitant on TikTok than anything that we've ever been because, we were like, okay, let's see if this really is going to get shut down. And so there's been up and downs with that. But Reels, like we've gone hardcore with it. We're posting Reels for clients every week. And it's what we do. It's what we specialize in. And we study all of the algorithms, all of the, how it's going to reach, clients that we're posting reels for, they are seeing a return of their turns per day going up. And everything like that. And if someone's struggling with this, we're definitely here. Reach out to us. If they just have a couple questions about how to do it, we'd be willing to help with that. If they want someone to do it for them, like we're here. We study their demographics, study their market. At Center Social, we work with clients. We're over 100 laundromats now. I actually don't have a real number anymore. I need to do the math on that. But we have, clients from, like over 30 states at this point, I guess. So we're working in lots of demographics and reaching people for the laundromat world.
Yeah, which is awesome. And, social media management is one of those things you can DIY, you can do it yourself, but it's a lot of work. And you got to ask yourself the question, is it worth my time, or is my time more valuable doing something different? And you can outsource it to somebody who knows what they're doing. It's what they do. It's, and if you're in that camp, Center Social, a great option for you. You can reach out. I'll put links to Center Social in the show notes. And if you're on YouTube, it'll be down below in the description. But real quick, I just, got to shout out that Center Social is partner with Laundromat Resource, and you do get a pretty generous little perk, what I call a pro perk, for joining the pro community over there. So if you're interested in learning about that, and I will say that your pro perk alone more than covers the investment to be in the pro community. So there's everything else that comes with it, but your pro perk alone is, it more than covers, the pro perk there. So if that's something that you're interested in, check out Center Social. If you want to come join the pro community, laundromatresource.com/pro, and enjoy that pro perk we have with Center Social. Brittany, this has been very educational on like multi dimensions, from like, I learned a new dog breed. I learned a lot about reptiles, and I learned about TikTok, Reels, and Facebook groups all in one podcast episode. That's like pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. And unfortunately, probably in about 2 months, everything that we've talked about will have changed. Because that's the way social media is.
Yeah. We should probably just do this on a regular basis then, and just kind of keep everybody updated. But really appreciate you taking the time and coming on, and looking forward to having you on again. Again, Center Social is Brittany Centers. And we will see you in the next social media eternity, which I don't know, maybe like 6 months or so. We can talk about everything else that's new and how all this is all irrelevant now.
All right. Thank you, Jordan.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. All right. As always, Brittany was awesome. Brought a lot of really great updated information about what's going on in the world of social media, and how you as a laundromat owner or future laundromat owner can improve your business, gain more customers, communicate better with your customers, create loyalty, all those things, how you can do that through social media. And, honestly, there's a lot to do, a lot to keep up with. And if you're somebody who's looking to have that social media side of your business managed by Center Social, make sure you check out Center Social. There's a link again in the show notes, laundromatresource.com/show98 in the description in YouTube. And again, if you're thinking about jumping on board with Center Social, it's just a no-brainer to join the pro community, because you will actually save money. And not only that, you'll get access to all the other tools, resources, yada, yada, yada information that we got over there in the pro community. So go join that. But all of this is for nothing unless you're putting stuff into action. So pick one thing, if nothing else, just pick one thing from today's episode, put it into action this week. It's when we start stacking these actions from every week of, listen to the podcast, pulling out a lesson or a nugget or whatever and putting it into action, stacking those actions. That's going to help you achieve your goals and lead to success, not just stacking the knowledge. All right. So we want to be action takers here because, again, that's what's going to get you what you want out of life. So pick something, put it into action. And something that I'm picking actually is I'm going to go. I've done this before and, it's been a little bit of a struggle, but I'm going to get back into getting a video editor so that I can put out some more content on Reels. And I think I'm going to try TikTok, and see what happens over there. Brittany convinced me. All right. Awesome. Let somebody know what your action step is. Go take action this week. And we'll see you next week with an awesome update episode with a multi-store owner that you are going to love. I guarantee you're going to get a ton out of that episode next week. So we'll see you then. Peace.